This season is coming to an end, but I guess just to document the changes I will show you my loadouts, because you will see some things are different now. And so the first one is the Kilo 141, which I find to be just the best versatile assault rifle in the current metagame. And the gunsmith is also oriented towards being able to be aggressive as well as more versatile. The second loadout is the Grau 556, and I'm using a most aggressive variant with the Nexus barrel and the no-stock. However, the gun is getting a nerf next season, and it might be that we will have to just go to the range variant with better BSA afterwards, or simply just use other guns. But for now I really like this aggressive build. Moving on, we have the newly buffed Type 19, and the gun is absolutely amazing. I'm using the vague gunsmith because I just really like the overall versatility, the range it provides, as well as the good BSA. And the gun is getting also a nerf next season, which might be leading to this gunsmith being the main, because the bullet spread accuracy is going to be nerfed a bit. Or it will not be impacted much and the gun will just remain a viable meta. My main Grandmaster rank loadout now has PDW instead of the PP90 Bizon, just because I find the latter to be a bit too slow in the current metagame and PDW is simply faster. But once the meta changes I will just go back to the PP for sure, because I've been using it for like maybe a year even, and it really is the best option for me for just grinding through the Grandmaster. Fennec is just the best, most aggressive close range SMG, and I find it ideal in like smaller maps or when I just want to run around and shoot everyone. The gunsmith is pretty much just the default recommended variant, and so far I like it. If I find a better one I will simply use it instead and make a dedicated video. But at the moment what I can say also is that if you find this gun lacking range or running out of mag too soon, you might as well just try the CX9 or the Switchblade X9, they both are also viable. And really it's just a personal preference at this point. PP90 Bizon returns in a dedicated FEG loadout. Now it is a must to have such loadout because you simply take down a chopper with it, sometimes you also get to steal it due to the blue pack. And once that's done you just run to the objective, you use the reactor core to wipe it out, die and switch to your main loadout. And previously I used PDW here, but now it is the PP90 Bizon because like I said earlier it simply made a switch. And so these are my main 6 loadouts. The upcoming 3 are basically just here as a support loadouts to fill the gaps whenever the main ones are lacking in some areas. After making my LK24 KN44 comparison video, I've decided to keep the LK as my range gun. Simply for situations when the previously shown assault rifles they are just lacking in range because they are more versatile, teamed build-wise. And so this really just has this one purpose, and whenever I want to just play more passive and engage in long range fights I will use the LK24. If you don't like this gun you might as well just use Holger or some other variant, but basically it is just the purpose of this loadout. QQ9 has returned to the meta and it is certainly a viable option now. I am putting it to support right now because I have the PDW for like a similar playstyle. And QQ9 is basically for situations when the Fennec lacks range, but I want to just keep on being aggressive with my enemies. And you might use the MAP strike stock instead of the no stock, which will give you a better BSA as well as range. But I just personally like the no stock better in this one because it just gives a smoother movement feel. But both options are really valid. And finally the HVK 30, which many big YouTubers say is the main meta gun. Now I personally haven't been using it much, but now I simply have 2 legendaries and I feel that I should give it more like playtime. And also I recently found the gunsmith with the tactical stock, which I like better compared to the monolithic suppressor variant. The ADS tracking movement is just smoother. And I have to say it is quite a good gun, although I would not use it with a bad team because then the mag size is truly lacking. Otherwise the gun is like ideal, just with bad team you will often die when reloading. And the last two loadouts are just for video making, so I don't have to switch the main ones all the time, you know. And what else is different is that now I'm using pinpoint on most of the loadouts simply because I believe that it gives more value compared to the lightweight. On LK24 and Fennec loadout I have kept lightweight just to have a better sprint speed, but on other ones I simply do not see much of a point. And also a concussion grenade instead of a trophy system, because I really just like to throw it at the area where enemies could be, and often it actually works. It just gives them a concussion and then they are easier to kill. And I almost forgot Shocker C instead of the advanced UAV, because the meta is quite aggressive now. We also have that Manowar, which just gets you off your score streaks, because even if you kill the enemy you still die most of the time, so I simply do not want to have a score streak which I will barely ever acquire. And Shocker C is quick to achieve and it gives value right away, so like UAV, Shocker C and Cluster Strike as a finisher if I want to clean out some objective is my current go-to.